Welcome to Life Planning 101, brought to you by Smart Money Group and Kennedy Financial Services in Eastland, Texas. Tune in every week as we share important information to help you and your family live life on purpose. Insurance, investments, legacy and tax planning, and much more. All covered now on Life Planning 101.
Here we are with another episode of Black and White Market Chatter on Life Planning 101. Matt Ervin and Aaron Kennedy with a short and sweet episode today. Aaron, today is Jobs Reports Day. What did the numbers come out looking like?
Incredibly strange.
Better than expected.
I've got a bald spot at the front of my head and at the back right now. Yeah. Jobless claims were up over 500,000.
Right.
We were expecting about half of that. So everybody that wants a job can have 7 at this point.
Right, and the unemployment rate are back. Was it pre-COVID? Is it 3.5% unemployment rate?
Yeah, less than 3.5%. It dropped today.
Okay.
So another interesting thing is 63,000 people left the workforce.
Right.
You know, that's the biggest questions is we all need people to work for us, but everybody's got a job.
Right.
We just don't know where they're at.
Well,
who are they working for
right.
if we all need employees and none of them are here?
Well, Walmart came out the other day too, right? They're lowering jobs. So there's a lot going on in the jobs market. That's not the only thing, but
it's head scratching, and this is the market kind of it was peculiar today. But right when the news came out, the market dropped pretty big. NASDAQ dropped by 1%, which isn't big, but considering what's been going on, that's very, very robust job numbers. Whether it's true or not, that's very, very strong numbers. So what's that telling the market is everybody's still going gangbusters, and inflation ain't slowing down.
That's right.
You know, so that's why the market, usually the market would be really excited about this, but now it's like, no, Fed's going to continue raising interest rates. We thought maybe we'd get 0.5% this month, but more than likely it's going to be another 3/4. Depends on what the headline inflation number comes in. But that's how the market's trading right now. Good news is down market, bad news is up market. And it's been that way for a while, and it's very difficult.
One of the things I want to point out quickly on that jobs numbers, they said usually economists miss that prediction by the downside. So it's like 250 was like the medium estimate or something. So usually they miss it low. And because it was almost twice or the numbers there, that's what made it so monumental today.
Yeah. And that's a big miss.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what type of economy we're in. What was it, 535 or 5?
Right, yeah.
It's somewhere in there. That's a big, big number for new jobs coming on. One thing we have to kind of look at is these are all looking in the past. These are no predictions. This is what happened last month. So it's not something that we can look at and say, oh, these are great numbers. We're going to extrapolate that in the future.
Right. No. Not quite a crystal ball there.
What it does mean is all the work that the Fed's done so far isn't slowing down anybody.
Right.
We're still going strong. And it's not just the U.S. Bank of England came out with some frightening news. That their inflation hit about 13%. Everywhere over in Europe's a little bit higher than us. And I think we talked about this last time. Our strong dollar is really protecting us.
yeah, and it got stronger today, according to the several things.
But 9% here, 13% overseas. But Bank of England's raising interest rates, and he's the first one that called it and said we're going to be in a recession by the end of this year, and it's going to be so severe it's going to drag on through 2023. So, it's not something you really want to hang your hat on, but it's a sobering thought that countries are waking up to this idea that, hey, something is a little strange and things are not looking good right now.
Yeah.
So, the market cheered it up.
Right.
I loved it.
Well, it's what we know today is it's not like the last one. The last one, everybody, you talked about FOMO, right? The last one, so March of 2020, everybody dove in. I'm going to make $1 million off of 10,000. That was always the question we get. And it's like, well, you just can't. And so now people are trying to, anchor back to that point.
Yeah. But FOMO, which is fear of missing out, it is so unbelievably strong. Last month, the NASDAQ was up double digits. Why? Still in crazy high price. And one other thing to look at is we have an inverted yield curve. That means interest rates in the short end are higher than the long end. So if I want to go buy a 1-year CD, I'm going to make more money than if I buy a 10. Right? So kind of way to think about it.
Which is backwards, right?
Which is backwards.
You explained it great the other day when you told me that people think things are better today than they are tomorrow.
Yes.
And of course, that timeline's
But
twos versus tens, but
that's
still.
exactly right. Everybody's expecting interest rates to be lower 10 years from now. They're not expecting it. The market's trading that way. They're telling us that. So what has to happen for interest rates to go down? The Fed has to be trying to fix the economy. There's got to be something broken in our economy where they're trying to fix it and flood more money into it. So that's what it's telling us. Things are going to be really crappy in the future, but today we're okay.
Right.
And that's been an extremely good indicator of a recession.
Right.
I think, man, picking my brain now, but I think there's been times that we've been inverted that we have not had a recession, but we've never had a recession that we have not been inverted.
Right.
And in the times that we weren't inverted, it was like 2 times. It's not like something that happens all the time. Once you see it, you got to say, whoa.
It's a strong indicator of
Very
a
strong
recession.
indicator.
Yeah.
So we got lots of things that are happening that should be slowing down the market, and things are just going gangbusters right now. Market is extremely strong, and it doesn't make sense. I was on the phone with Vanguard yesterday, and he was pretty pumped up. He said, "Hey, look at this. We're expecting a 3%. We were expecting a 3% return at the beginning of the year, and now we've pushed it all the way up to 5." I was like, "Wow, seriously? That's nice." And then I started really digging in. I was like, "Wait a minute, this is over the next 10 years." So yeah, but look how much it's changed. I was like,
Right.
what?
Right. That's
So I mean, thinking minds are saying that this market is shaky, and you need to be a little bit cautious. But the market's not trading that way, and I think a lot of that has to do with, think back during COVID, the GameStop and
well, people are wanting to get rich quick.
Yes. And that's been one bad thing. Was it you telling me? Someone was telling me that there's a lot of investors out there that have never gone through a downturn, or not longer than basically nap time.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Go take a 15-minute nap and the market right back to where it was.
There's a lot of young investors now that have read something or heard something, and it's the social media is so quick that people are talking about it. Was it Reddit? Right. It's a huge blogging thing that people are trading information on, but it's like there's been a certain safety net. It's like as a kid, right? You don't really know what it's like to go without because your parents are your safety net, right?
Yeah.
So as a trader, your safety net has never have been through, like an 08, 09, or 2000, 2001, right? They've not been through that, so they don't know the importance of being conservative.
Think of COVID. Middle of February, we're like, ooh, this kind of burns.
That's
right. Middle of March, we're right back to where we were.
That's right.
A month.
Yeah.
And we shut down the economy. We were arresting people for going outside. That should have been the most devastating economic thing of all of our lives. It wasn't the 100-year storm. It was the million-year storm. This was the asteroid that took out the dinosaurs. And is just a little bit volatile for a month.
Right. We got more volatility now, but Aaron, we got to get wrapped up. Do you have any
Great talking.
thoughts?
Final thoughts. Long term, this is going to be a blink of an eye. Technology is changing. All of our lives are changing for the better, and that's what should keep you in your seat investing. But let's just not get ahead of ourselves right now. There's a lot of very strange things that are adding a lot of risk to the market. So try not to fall straight into the FOMO or missing out. Don't look at the upside and get greedy. Make sure your portfolio's in the right spot. Make sure you're getting some of that. Don't be on the sidelines. Get some of it. But it's not time to mortgage up the house and go all in.
Right. That's right. All right. Well, thanks, Aaron, for your insight today. Appreciate it as always. Right here, Matt Ervin and Aaron Kennedy, Black and White Market Chatter on Life Planning 101.
Thank you for joining us for Life Planning 101, brought to you by Smart Money Group and Kennedy Financial Services. If you have questions, you can email them to lifeplanning@kennedy-financial.com. Be sure to tune in next week for more Life Planning 101. The opinions expressed herein are those of the firm and are subject to change without notice. The opinions referenced are as of the date of publication and are subject to change due to changes in the market or economic conditions and may not necessarily come to pass. Any opinions, projections, or forward-looking statements expressed herein are solely those of the author, may differ from the views or opinions expressed by other areas of the firm, and are only for general informational purposes as of the date indicated. Securities offered through Calton and Associates Incorporated, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Smart Money Group LLC. Kennedy Financial Services and Smart Money Group LLC are separate entities and are not owned or controlled by Calton and Associates Incorporated.